Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We recite today the 24th Shabad from the sequence of Asa Kabir Jio, compositions of Kabir Ji in the Rag Asa. And this particular Shabad is on page 482 of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And the recitation. Asa Kabir Jio, Tan Raini man pun rap kar, Tan Raini man pun rap kari hau, Pacho tat barati, Ram Rai syo bhavar leho, Atam teh rang rati. Now, the Sabad uses the metaphor rather, of a marriage. This is a spiritual communion that Kabir Ji is talking about. His experience as well as his instruction on achieving that end, which is the singular end of Gurmat, the goal to connect with the source, to find union with the source. So tan raini man pun rap kari hau. Now, in a traditional marriage, there is the ceremony of anointing the bride with what we call mehndi, henna. Her hands, feet are colored. But Kabir Ji is saying that what I'm doing is tan raini, tan, the body. The body is the container in which I'm dyeing the fabric of the mind. Man pun rapi kari, how I am. Pun, virtue. So in the vat of the body, I have dyed the fabric of the mind with the water of wisdom. And Ram Rai syo bhavar leho. Bhavar means to go around. He's pointing to the circumambulation required of a Hindu marriage or a Sikh marriage. So he's saying, Ram Rai syo. I have performed the circumambulation with the sovereign Ram. Atam teh rangarati. And my soul is now dyed in the color of love. That's the introduction. And now we come to the central message here. Gao gauri dulhani mangala chara. Mere grah aaye Raja Ram badara rahao. Gao gauri. Now, ordinarily, gao means to sing. But here, it has a deeper connotation. Gao also means to express. Gao also means to move in that direction, in a particular specified direction. Gao also means to pay attention. And that is the meaning that I think we should be taking. So he's saying, Gao Gauri Dulhani Mangalachara. Who is the Dulhani? The Dulhan is the bride, but Dulhani are her friends. So who are the friends of the associates of the mind? If we look at it from a metaphorical angle, it is the senses. So Kabirji is saying, O friends of the mind bride, Dulhani, meaning, O senses, bring attention to the mind. Bring attention to the mind. Gao Gauri. dulhani. So the instruction to us is to focus the mind, to bring the senses under control. Mangalachara. Mangalachara is auspicious. So you have to apply the mind to invoke the benedictory grace, to ask for grace. Mangalachara. Mere garh aaye Raja Ram Batara, so that the sovereign husband, Ram, may enter the hearth of my heart. You see, the hearth is the core of a home. So this is the central message. Bring the mind under control, the senses under control. Focus the mind on the self within. Mere grah aaye Raja Ram Batara. That is the method of Gurmat. That is the goal of Gurmat. So you will see here that Gurmat is not an orthodoxy, meaning it doesn't require that you adhere to some belief or to any doctrine. It's talking about psychology of the mind. It is not an orthopraxy as well, where the emphasis is on ritual and practice, like in a lot of Hindu, Indian sects, right? They do yagana, where the relationship with the divine is more transactional. I sacrifice something, you give me something. Islam, which is the other big religion, is an orthodoxy in the sense that it requires you to believe in Allah and in Muhammad as the only messenger and the last messenger, no less. But that is not what Gurmat is. It's neither orthodox nor is it relying on sort of any praxis, insisting rather. It is an individual awakening. It is enlightenment, Mangalachara. It is awakening through intuitive knowledge, through mystical knowledge, because this knowledge that we speak of, Gyan, is not cognitive. It is not information. Information and cognitive knowledge is called Vigyan. That is why science is called Vigyan. This is Gyan, direct knowledge. So Gurmat doesn't throw a set of beliefs at you to believe. It reveals things. It brings about a transformation in the sensate being, in the being that has the senses. It brings a transformation about you. And what is transformed? The world stays the same. It is your perspective that is transformed. It is the perspective that is transformed. And what Kabirji is saying is that the awakening of even one human, Kabirji in this case, from the slumber of ignorance in Gurmat is a cosmic event that calls for celebration, Mangalacharan. It's an auspicious event because it doesn't happen often. It is a very rare incident. Very, very rare. And now Kabirji goes further to explain how to sublimate the external ritual of a wedding to make it an inner process. He says, Nabhi kamal meh bedi rachale. Nabhi kamal meh bedi rachale. Bedi is the pit of fire around which the circumambulation happens. Nabhi Kamal, Nabhi is the navel. Kamal is the lotus. It specifies, it stands for, it symbolizes spiritual enlightenment. So Kabirji is pointing to the navel and saying the core of you as an individual, this is the center. And don't forget that he's also speaking to the yogis. For them, the navel has special significance because this is your connection, the umbilical cord, so to speak. So Kabirji says, that is the center. Make that the center of your spiritual knowledge. Nabhi kamal mein bedi rachla. The fire that you burn outside, burn that fire in the belly. What that means is have fire in the belly, have motivation, move. Don't just sit around. Brahma Gyan Uchara. And you know, when the couple moves around in a typical wedding, there are mantras that are recited, whether it is the Pandit or the Gyani in the Gurdwara. What he's saying is Brahma Gyan Uchar. Recite the mantra of Brahm Gyan, self-knowledge. And in such a way, Ram Rai so dulho payo, a-sabad-a-day hamara. Great is my fortune because I found the sovereign Ram in this manner. The flowering of the mind in the quagmire of desire and attachment in the world we live in. Because the lotus arises in mud, in muddy waters. So our lotus, our mind, has to flower in the muddy waters of the world. There's no other way. What it needs is sunlight. We need the sunlight of Gyan, Gurmat, Gur, and the mind will flower. But you have to light that fire. Bedi, Rachale. He says Rachale. And when this happens, when this event happens, Kabir says, Sur, Nar, Munjan, Kautak Aaye, Kot Tetis Ujana. He's referring to various categories and shades of religious devotees. The Sur, the lower gods, the Nar, men, the Mun, sages, Jan, regular people, seekers. Kautak Aaye, Kautak, a miracle. They have come to witness. They are witness to this miracle. Tetis Ujana. Tetis is a reference to the 33 crores or 33 million devatas, people who have realized this. They've all come to witness this event. Kaho Kabir mohe behai chale hain, purakh ek bhagwana. That is the event, says Kabir. That all-pervasive self, that one, is leading me away in wedlock. Kabir is celebrating this delightful event that is happening in his life. And he's urging us to share in that experience. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.